be right if you said I started. Okay, you might be right if you said I started early, in quotes, but um, I think I should have started earlier. And then that's one of the reasons why I encourage people around me to start earlier. I thank God for where I am today. Many people celebrate my achievements, but if I know what I know, if I know what I teach my nursing students currently at Chrisland, if I know what I teach the 300 level students, I won't be here today. I won't be here today. So I think I started a little bit late. I started taking this journey serious where I didn't have much support to that time because it was during my master's that I had that exposure to what research was really, what it really means, and how to really go about it in a very, very quality way. So we are just, doing many things that we could do. There were a lot of trial and errors. Oh, I made a lot of mistakes. There were some journals I published that time that if I am to publish it, I will not publish in them again. I was just trying different things. We are pathfinders, if that makes sense. So we are just trying to know what worked. So we got our fingers burnt in many different ways, and it still shows. It still shows today. For example, if you look at my research trajectory, you sometimes be confused that what am I actually trying to achieve with research? Because you see me in this direction. My undergraduate research went like this, master's research went like this, PhD went like this. From now henceforth, I mentor nursing students from your 300 level. Pick an area and make sure you want to research on that area till the next 30, 35 years of your career. They will not mention two, three people in that area without mentioning you, right? Well, you can argue that I started a bit early. I always joke to people, type nursing research Nigeria on Google, you'll find my name. You find my name, Nursing Research Nigeria. You can do that. Type it on Google. You're going to find my name. My picture will be hanging somewhere around the internet. That was because I started a little bit early, but I could have started earlier and now understand it. So, mentorship again is what is coming to us in a very strong way. So, those mistakes that many people have made, just follow them and start from where they are. So, when I bring nursing students to come and join me in publication, I won't go and submit that manuscript to that kind of journal that I started from that time. I will submit it to a better journal and then we can build on that. Some of my mentees have gone straight from BNSC. They are now currently in PhD schools in the United States. If I knew what I know now, I would have also gone that route of, well, Trump has. Okay, let me not go that light. But then, yes, but then before that issue came, many of my mentees are currently in the US, and some of them, one also got an admission some days ago. It's going to a week now to come to Canada to come and do a master's and a lot of things like that. This is my joy. I want to pass this knowledge across to people. They can start early and then they can know that area and not avoid all this, parabolating that we had to do. Thank you. Over.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I mean, so you can see that this is just a sneak peek into the things you will learn if you actually join the career bootcamp. Like this is just little out of the things you are going to learn. Now imagine if you registered for it. If you need the link, if you can't find the link, TJ has sent the link to us on the group. Or if you still need more explanation, please enter my DM. I promise you, I'll convince you that this is something you are supposed to do. Thank you very much, sir. Before I ask the question, we've had a lot of questions coming. I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Daniel Ayla. I'm just calling him Big Dan. Thank you very much for being here today. He's one of my ogas, right? And he's going to be speaking with us tomorrow. Honestly, you don't want to miss tomorrow's session. I'm so sad for tomorrow's session. Okay, if you have questions, please drop it in the chat box now so that we can start attending to the questions. So I can see two questions. One from Gideon Olumolu. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name well. You said we often talk about mentorship and mentorship, connection, resilience, and passion as key factors for success. But realistically, to what extent does financial capacity influence how far someone can go in their career and life? So I'm going to ask your two questions together. He said, I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions. I've been able to connect with mentors, but sustaining those relationships has been difficult for me. I often hold back from reaching out because I'm concerned about being a burden, and as a result, some valuable relationships fade. What advice would you give on maintaining strong mentor-mentee relationships without feeling like you are overstepping? Two big questions. Yes, sir. Dr. Damilare.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry I didn't do shout outs when I started. I missed that. I can see a lot of people in the chat box that really mean a lot to me, starting from the husband of our hosts, Mr. Olubi. Thank you so much for all you do. I can see Mr. Daniel Ainla is my friend, you know. I mean, friend, when you are friend, I can see Honorable Israel Fawole. Yeah, I can, a lot of people, because of time. Let me not bore us with those Sharon Olateju and a lot of people that mean so much. Thank you so much for all you do and for the color you bring to nursing profession. So the question on financial issues, you are right. I was telling some people, I think last week that, or maybe 2 weeks ago, that if the vision that God has given to you is something that your finances are able to accommodate, maybe you have not seen that vision in the proper light. Maybe you are just seeing a little part of it, because many times the vision that God is going to place before you, the finances you have be able to will not be enough to execute that vision. That is my experience. And I use this Bible scripture. It guides me a lot. Bible says that a man found a field, and that field there is gold in it. Bible says that that man went and sold everything he had to buy that field. For me, that field is research in nursing. So for you, it can mean different things. I found that gold called research in nursing. And then, as that verse said, I went and I sold the things that I had. And you might think that it's just a proverb. That was actually what I did at some point in my journey. When I was about to leave Nigeria, I was working nursing council, and I was living in a two-bedroom flat that time, had a car, I was doing good. However, I noticed that there is more to my life. So what I did, I sold the car, I sold almost all my properties, and then I located my wife and son to Lagos, and then I went to Hong Kong, you know. And then that time was during COVID-19 pandemic. The flight was expensive, very expensive. The flights that was just around 150,000, I had to spend over 1 million naira to get to Hong Kong, the cost, and that was in 2020. That was a lot of money to me then. I did not have that money. I had to borrow that money actually at that particular time. So, yeah, some people will say, I don't have money. You go and look for it. You go and look for the money. Go out of your way. Of course, in righteous means, don't do illegal things, but just trust God to go out of your way to get the money. And another thing that I've also seen some nurses do, I won't put any of them on the spot. I know they are listening to me, and I love what they do, is that they have gotten some other skills that bring extra money to their table. God bless you for what you do, and then they are able to now afford some other things that some other people are not able to afford. Some of them are able to get contracts and work with people outside Nigeria, and then they are in Nigeria. They're able to maybe analyze a research for somebody abroad, and they were paid in pounds or dollars. They're able to, do all some other things like that. They're able to manage social media for people, and they are paid. That's also something I'm very passionate about, entrepreneurship in nursing. We need this. So when you are getting extra, because your nursing salary might not be enough to execute this vision, then you need to, and we all have something to offer. You have a skill to offer, you have something you can sell that you can bring money, or a service that you can offer that can bring money to your table. So try and discover that and start offering it. When you get more money from that, then you are able to apply it. And then when it now comes some big, dreams of your life, like you want to leave the country, most people that travel out of the country, they won't have the funds. Then you can now reach out. But please don't use be careful how you do that, because I've seen some nurses also do that in a negative way. For example, they want to go to a conference and that conference, how much they don't have the money, and then they will now be looking for money. Ah, no, 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 that's so stressful for you. There is time for everything. I tell people, okay, you want to go for a conference, start from, okay, a local conference, a national conference in Abuja, in Lagos, and then as you go, and then if the conference, for example, they're going to sponsor you, they give you sponsor the flight and things like that. But if you now want to now relocate for a master's, you want to relocate for a PhD, and you need the money, then go ahead and do everything you can under God to be able to get the money to go for such things. So I hope I'm able to answer that particular question. The next one is about our mentorship will be valuable. That's one of the things I've come to realize. I started chatting to Josephine. I'm not sure the time it was in Nigeria, but it was around maybe 5:30, 6 a.m. here in Canada. So why was she able to get my attention? Because she's bringing value to what I do. She's bringing value to the program I have. There are some people, my peers on this call, Akingbade is on this call. If nobody is able to reach me in the world, she can reach me no matter how busy I am. Why? Because she is offering a value to me. My mentor is Professor Priska Ade Olabisi Ade Jumo. When he started mentoring me, there was a value I was bringing to her. There was a value I was bringing, I was supporting, and I'm still supporting many of the things that she's doing. Currently, I'm the project manager of focusing on Young Nurses Initiative. I started with her. I was part of those that pioneered it, the vision. I was one of the first or the second person she shared that vision with, and I'm still very much involved in that organization. So, no matter how busy Prof is, she will look for time to give to me. But one thing I've come to realize is that many people, you want to get into a mentorship relationship with somebody, and then you are not, offering anything to that person. Some people we will argue that is becoming transactional, but you need to offer value to get something to, even in the Bible, Elisha had to pour water. Bible says he was pouring water on the hands of Elijah. That was I was able to get that thing. But one thing I've come to realize is that some people they want the attention of some people that are up there in quotes, but then they will post on social media, you will not engage it. You will not like, you will not comment, you will not share. They will at offer conference, you will not attend. They will launch books, you will not buy. They will do everything, and then you will now be suffering them, pestering them, bombarding them on. It does not work. It does not work like that. Offer a service to them. And many rich people have come to realize they are very busy, but they have needs. Oh, the rich also cry. They are bleeding seriously. There is something that they need and they need help for. That was how Josephine was able to enter my world because she found something. She just found that thing that I needed, and then she was just launched into it, and then we were able to click on that particular level. So anybody that you are trying to reach out to, how did I start to in nursing? I was serving Reverend Olusegun Salako in FCN. I was just his boy. I was a Lautech student. I would go to his house. I wash his car as a Lautech student. He's not asking me to do it. Sometimes I will run some errands for his wife. I will run some errands for him. Sometimes, let me not just go too far into what I'm pouring water, making sure it was the zonal president of FCN that time, but I was making sure I was serving him, if he needed something. Many of the things that he was doing, I was at the back end. He was the president, but I will be the one designing flyers, not that I will design, but the structure, the content of what we are going to do, the program we want. We want to go and do a conference in Ekiti, and I will sit down, I will fast, I will pray, I will receive teams, I will receive the direction, the program. Some of the things that I still conceive, we still do it. If you hear FCN doing travel, I was one that brought that word travel. We did a conference, the purpose-driven nursing students in Lautech. I did a lot of things that we just brought. And then what we are doing was just serving those people that God has placed ahead of us. And something about service is this volunteering when somebody is not paying you. If you have helped somebody to get to a particular level, you are already there. Some people that I mentor, they are currently in Nigeria, but then, for example, my PA, she's in Nigeria, but then She's, as far as I'm concerned, she's in Canada because she's already working with somebody that is currently in this country. Let me know, boss. I'm already getting into some things I should know. Okay, but I
Honestly, I
think
can
I've
listen to
answered your
you till
question. Thank you.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
I
Yeah.
can listen to you till tomorrow. This is so amazing. I'm loving the trajectory of this conversation. Before I forget, please, I want to give a special shout out to Honorable Fawole. Thank you so much for being here Saturday. I was going through the chat, but I didn't see. Thank you very much. He was here yesterday. See, if you missed yesterday's session, just go on YouTube. I sent the link to the community group. It's a session you really want to listen to. Thank you so much for being here, sir. I can too relate with so many of the things that Professor Oluwadamilare is talking about, and it makes so much sense to me. There are things that your money cannot buy you, that what you need is connection, right? There are some things that your money will not get you. It's not the finances you need, it's the kind of people that are there that would give you access to those places. And you always have something to offer. That's what I tell people. You always have something to offer, no matter how small, you have something to offer. So have that posture of what do I have to offer to this person? If I don't have money to give them, there's so much I can give them that is not monetary. And then Dr. Oluwadamilare was talking as regards to the question the person asked as regards to, if finances, how finances affect what you do. Of course, he has answered the question. I just wanted to add that so many times, many of us want to get substantial things on a platter of gold. There are sacrifices you would have to pay. Like, there's no successful person I've ever heard speak that has not spoken about how much sacrifice they've had to pay. Udamina talked about how he sold his car. I listen to people who entrepreneurial people, business persons a lot. And one of the things that is very common with many of them is that they sold their house or they sold their car or they are living it like the story is just of someone who has paid a lot of sacrifice, right, to get to where they are. So what are you willing to pay? What are you willing to pay? I'll go a bit into finances. Many times, many of us say we don't have money. But by the time you go through your account balance, like you go through your statement of account, you realize you've spent money for a lot of things that you don't need. Just go through your account details, your statement of account for a month, and look at the things that are essential that you paid for, the things that are non-essential that you bought, you got. That 5,000 naira today, 2,000 naira tomorrow, shawarma for 3K, tomorrow is Cold Stone. See, if you can't pay the sacrifice to get to where you are going, then you are not ready. Sometimes you just have to, pay that sacrifice. There are times when you have to deny yourself of some things. I know people who have had to deny themselves of, I don't want to use myself as an example. They've had to deny themselves of some ephemeral things that can come later just to be able to attend conferences. And that's why I say the boot camp, I've met people who entered my DM when I posted that the is paid. Like, you want value on a platter of gold. And sometimes, Seth, you don't even today I was listening, so I listened to Kunle Shoriyo, Pastor Kunle Shoriyo very, very closely. And of recent he was having in Dabato to Lagos. The money is not, it's not my mates at this level that I am, right? So I could not attend, I couldn't register. But I was listening to one of the conversation he had at a church that he was invited to today. And I told myself that sometimes we are looking for what lost. There are so many free value that this event now, see how much you've learned from this event and you didn't pay a dime for it. There are so many conferences that are free. But no, it's the one that is 200K that you don't have the money to get that you are looking for now. A point will come when you have the money to pay for those things. Yes, last 2 years, DDK hosted a VV event. The money was so much. I applied for scholarship. This year I could not go because I don't have the money. But I've listened to DDK so much that the things that she's saying for sharing to us on a platter of gold, there are things that I would gladly pay to get. So there are free conferences, there are free events, there are free courses. There are free courses. I still saw today some courses that was it Harvard University. These are free courses that you can get. Go online, check for these courses. There are conferences that are free. Like, we have so much that this generation has so much to succeed. We just need excuses. You are looking for excuses not to do it. Give yourself a reason to succeed, and you realize that there's so much on the table for you to do. Thank you very much. So there is still a lot of questions here, and our time is running fast. So I'm just going to go through the question. Then yes, Gideon, you shared that you want to join the community. We've already shared the link to the community. You can join us and you get more updates from there. So David says, okay, let me just ask a question. here first by Edebojo Amesh. Said, what is the place or future of AI in nursing? Also, for anyone who wants to ride on the waves of AI, what aspect of nursing should one be looking into? Yes, Mr. Dapo, I think you answer that question.
All right, thank you. Before I answer that question, I just want to chip in something concerning the last question Prof answered. Right, you have to make some things your habit, or you have to make yourself like you feel uncomfortable without doing them. It is easy to spend your money on things that do not really mean or matter, or that won't contribute to where you want to be, let's say tomorrow, right? You can say, okay, you can save, maybe save 5,000 naira today. You want to use it to register for a course online, and before you know it, you start craving for parfait, right? You withdraw that 5,000, you spend it on parfait. It's because you've not made it a habit. The thing about habit is like, it's like when you cure someone, or when you cure a drug addict, like you take a drug addict to, say, Arabiakuta now, you treat the person, and then you bring that person back to the environment he was, the environment he was before that addiction started, the environment where he meets other people who are smoking, drinking, who are doing drugs. You notice that he or she will later still come back to that addiction. And then, unfortunately for that person, taking him or her to the hospital may not work as fast as it did in the first time, right? You need to build that habit. You need to make everything around you scream your goal, your objective, your plan, the strategies to achieve everything. You need to make everything around you scream that thing that you want to achieve. You can't say, okay, let's say you want to get used to reading your Bible now, but your Bible is in a room or somewhere in your house where you hardly go to, where you hardly open. There is no way you will make that an habit. You have to make your Bible somewhere where you see where you see it by the time you wake up, by the time you are going to bed, you see it every time. So when you do that, okay, it's easier for you to pick your Bible, read one verse, and sleep than when you don't even know where the Bible is. You need to make everything around you scream your go, your go, your go. And then when it comes to future of AI in nursing, most people think of AI as robots, but it does not work like that, right? AI can work as agents in nothing or in healthcare, right? We can use AI for automation of administrative burdens, right? We unfortunately we still have hospitals, even government one, who are still carrying case notes up and down in 2026. We still have it, right? It's something that technology can handle. You don't really have to carry case note around before you know the health history of this particular patient, or before you record the health history of a patient. AI can help in administrative aspect of that, and then it can enhance clinical decision support, right? You know how tedious nursing can be. You know how stressful it can be in the hospital, how crazy it can be sometimes. Imagine you are attending to maybe outpatients, 100 outpatients, and then only 10 of them really had serious case that needs attention. Then the 90% are just something you can talk them through, or something that maybe paracetamol or over-the-counter medications can handle. And then you sit down there and tend it to all of them. So imagine if there is a technology in place who will, shuffle the serious cases or serious conditions or serious patients that actually need that attention, that need your service at that particular point in time. So AI can handle that. And then it's not something like I said earlier, it's not a robot. It's not like we are using AI as a robot. Then we are in the world of telemedicine now. right? You can be in the heart of Ondo State or Ekiti State and attend to people, attend to them as a nurse, like guide them through what they need to do, can remind them of their medications, can give them health talk, health education. AI and technology has made that possible, right? And then when you are looking at the part of AI or part of nursing where you can integrate AI, it has to boil down to what is your interest, right? What do you actually want to achieve? Because you can use AI in research, you can use AI in the world. But I was actually when I want to, as I made a mention earlier that I want to build some serious project for my portfolio because there are some high profile or there are some companies that I want to target that I wish to work for. And then some of the projects I have do not really align with what they already had. Like you need to know the kind of thing or the part of nursing that you want to enter using technology or AI. Is it research? Is it in the bedside? Is it telemedicine virtually? You need to like be sure of what you want to achieve with nursing and technology. Or do you even want to be like me, probably build the health record or medical health record, something like that? Do you want to work with hospital? Do you want to build SaaS for them? Some healthcare softwares that hospitals can use for health record. Let's say you have the capacity now to build EMR, electronic medical record, hospital can have access to, or you have the capacity to build a tool for people to record their own health history. Let's say someone goes to Evercare in Lagos, and the history or the documentation of everything that was done to that person was documented in an application that that person has access to. And then maybe a week later, he had to travel to Abuja. It will be easier for that person to tender that, software to the Abuja doctor or nurse to see the care he has taken, the medications, the things he reacted to, the treatment he had received. To be easier to, okay, the nurse or doctor in Abuja is not starting from the scratch again. So you need to decide which part of nursing or healthcare do you want to enter, and then you need to work your way through how to handle that with technology or AI. And then if you are using AI, in Nigeria we don't have data, right? I'm not talking about our mobile data now. We don't have that reliable source of data that you can say, okay, these are number of people that react to paracetamol, these are number of people that are using metformin, these are number of people that have malaria this month. We don't have that data. And then without data, AI is useless. But if, let's say, ChatGPT does not have access to any data, if you build a new product today and you ask ChatGPT does not know about it because it has not been exposed to information about that product. It is when it got exposed to it that, okay, you can download everything he has. You can, scratch the internet, search everywhere, then give you everything that was said or that has been said about that particular product. So without data, AI cannot survive. So you need to critically look at things when you want to decide when you want to enter nursing or combine nursing with tech or AI. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, Sam. Our time is fast spent, so I'm just going to be asking one more question, and I'll just run through the other questions. People were asking about mentorship, providing value. Honestly, I feel these are the questions that would be completely answered if you join the boot camp. Just go and click on the link and join the boot camp. Many of your questions, even the ones you've not asked, would you get answered to them, right? So just join the boot camp. Anything on mentorship, on research. So somebody was asking how to start research. Just go and join the boot camp. You will thank me later. In fact, you may even pay me safe. So yes, I'm going to ask Prof one more question from this from somebody on this call. I'm trying to see the question I will take. Um Yeah, I think this question has been answered though, but I'll just ask. Um, so yeah, somebody has a question here. Precious Olale, I think this question is for Mr. Dapo. So Mr. Dapo, please, in like 30 seconds, can you just help us answer this question by Precious? She said, "Good evening, sir. Thank you for the insightful webinar. I love the tech industry and currently a virtual assistant. How can I use this to add color to nursing?" So the question I actually want you to really answer is where she said, "Another form of restriction in the tech space that I often face is the experience part. A lot of industries requires experience before you can work with them. And I tried volunteering so as to gain experience, but still not working. How can I go about it?" Yes, sir. Like a minute. Thank
All
you.
right, virtual, you can work virtually with someone like Prof now, someone like Nurse Coach Ola, someone like JJ, Nurse Josiah Okeshola. You can work virtually for them as a virtual assistant. You are merely handling their online presence for them while they face their day to day. And then when it comes to experience, no, I'm not a virtual assistant, I'm a web developer, software developer. And when it comes to experience now, you need to be able to build some things on your own, right? You need to build, let's say you are a developer now, you need to build either a website or a web application. You need to build and then have it in your portfolio. But there's something we call GitHub. That is where tech technical guys like save their code, have their code in their saved for people to access. And then when you build something, you don't really need to have someone you are building it for. You can build it as a side project. Like I said earlier, North Prep Africa was a side project that I decided to make it a big deal. It was a side project that I was going to leave in my repo, in my portfolio. You can build things, you can build technical products, and then have them in your portfolio. If you don't have a portfolio, you need to build a portfolio. Portfolio will contains the jobs or the things you have done. So when people who want to hire you see your portfolio, okay, when they see the things you've built, they can then decide, okay, this is relevant to this position or this is not relevant to this position. And then you need to build things that are relevant to the kind of positions you have. Right. I said earlier that there are some companies I'm targeting. So the companies I'm targeting, they are not the one looking for me building a website like TikTok. They are not looking for me building a website like Netflix. They are looking for me building EHR, electronic medical records. So if I'm able to build projects around healthcare, I will be able to target them. We have their attention compared to when I'm building things that are totally different from what they do. So you need to build things that are in line with what the company or the person you want to target does. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. Some people are asking that they are not able to apply for the bootcamp. The link has been opened. You can click on the link now and you'll be able to register for the bootcamp. Thank you so much, sirs. I really appreciate this moment. Honestly, I can keep on asking. I have so many questions and I know so many people have questions. I apologize if I'm not able to take your questions. Please just register for the bootcamp. I know that Prof would have all the time to answer every of your questions. Thank you very much, Sas, for making it today. I really do not take it for granted. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing with us from your wealth of wisdom. And thank you to everyone who have stayed true to this time. I mean, we spent a lot of time here, even later than yesterday. I want to hope that tomorrow will not take this long. That's why I asked us to come early. The earlier we come, the earlier we start. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you very much. I look forward to tomorrow's session because he is one of my favorite persons. I've learned so much from him. Let me just keep all the gist till tomorrow. If you want to hear it, just come tomorrow. Thank you very much, everyone. See you tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. on the same platform, same link. And I wish us a very blissful night's rest. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Right. Good night.